One and done, Carolina Hurricanes edition. Welcome back to another episode of this short-term series here that we're doing the wind down on NHL 20 rather than starting up a new franchise mode series that we really wouldn't be able to fully explore. If you have missed the first couple episodes of this series, pretty straightforward. One season to win a Stanley Cup. That is it. No limitations on trades with the exception of only being allowed 3 of them, so we need to time them well, and they need to be the right additions. When it comes to the coaching staff, we stay with whatever we have been granted. We are allowed, of course, to change up player types and positions to maximize chemistry, something that we won't be able to do in NHL 21. And aside from that, you pretty much know the rules. So if you missed the first couple episodes, of course, go check those out. But for now, let me introduce you to our starting team here in Carolina. Now, it's not the worst team we've had in terms of chemistry, but it's not the best. We have Justin Williams, who's a pretty good fit for the first line, Sebastian Aho, who's a very good fit for the first line, and Teuvo Teravainen, who's a slightly better fit for the second line, but of course we had to make things work. So, in theory, could look for someone who's a little bit better on that top line other than Teravainen, and that could be an amazing top line, although Williams isn't perfect. Second line, we have Nino Niederreiter with Vinny Trocheck and Andrei Svechnikov. So again, you would have seen there with Niederreiter and Svechnikov. Obviously, they are better fits on the top line, but we don't have space for everybody. Third line is Warren Foegele, Jordan Staal, and Ryan Dzingel. So you see some of the chemistry issues that we have there. And the fourth line, we have Barack McGinn, Martin Necas, and Jordan Martinook. So when you look at this team, when it comes to forwards, we really didn't have any better options. The Hurricanes' total depth is questionable. I'm going to go with questionable. I mean, Max McCormick is the top-rated forward that we could have called up. That's a bad situation. Defensively, it's not the best chemistry in the world, but we do have the Hurricanes starting defense, which is, of course, very nice. We have Dougie Hamilton alongside Jake Gardner, a second pairing of Brett Pesce and Jacob Slavin, and the third pair, Sami Vatanen alongside Brady Shea. So you see some of the limitations that we had with this team. Goaltending, you know what to expect. Peter Mrazek and James Reimer, the Magic Angel robot from Winnipeg. Of course, healthy scratch, we don't have anybody to worry about. So defensively, we could have potentially called up or used Hayden Fleury or TVR. We went with the higher rated guys out of the gates. I guess Morgan Geekie was there too as a 72. Goaltending, there really wasn't anybody else. So this Hurricanes team, unsurprisingly, we're just going with exactly who you would expect us to go with for a Hurricanes episode of this series. Now, coaching staff is interesting because it's a decent little coaching staff. For no series have I gone ahead and signed other people, and that's because for the most part there's hardly ever better people to sign in the first year free agent, free agent coaching market, for lack of a better term. I guess that's appropriate. Our staff chemistry is, though, at an 87, so we'll see how much that benefits us. Of course, taking a look here before we get into the simming, the trade values that we might have to work with. We don't have a ton of cap space, but these are the trade values that we have to work with, and we do have a couple of big names, Ryan Suzuki and Jack Drury, that we can use, Dominic Bach as well. So some good potential players here to use via trade if we need to. Defensively, of course, a little bit lesser. Anthony Honka and Jake Bean are there. And in goaltending-wise, Peter Kochetkov. But for the most part, it's gonna be interesting. We do have Toronto's first rounder, which is nice. Right now, they don't have a ton of value. But again, we'll see how this goes and how things progress. As we always do, I'm going to sim the first 2 months or so of this season. We'll see how the team does, and we'll make adjustments if need be as we get on with the sim. So before we do that, the overall for the team, 88, 92, and an 80 for this bunch of jerks. Of course, using my custom roster, which is why they don't have the updated jerseys, because I started using said custom roster before EA patched in those jerseys, and you have to use a roster update, and it's just a weird system to tie in updated jerseys with a roster update. It's very bizarre, but it is the way that it is. So with that, like I said, I don't think we have much to worry about, at least short term. We'll see if long term certain problems end up arising. But for now, it's just seeing what this team is capable of in their current form. I mean, like I said, and as you saw, there are a lot of players who aren't perfect in terms of a line fit on this team, but sometimes that best chemistry isn't always the answer. I mean, you think of the third line, it's like, okay, I can have an 82 on no chemistry or a 79 on +3 chemistry. Is there that much of a difference? Is that 79 overall, player technically going to be even better because of the positive chemistry? Who's to say? But I think the best move for this team was to, especially because of the lower overall forwards, it was to try and avoid maximizing chemistry and just roll with the best options and trying to get as much chemistry as we possibly could out of the situation. Now, our record is falling a little bit. We are still in first place here in the Metro. Hopefully we can have a strong final few weeks of this season, although losses to Buffalo and Minnesota certainly don't help. Minnesota, by the way, Jonas Brodin, that contract is in. So we've lost 4 in a row. That Jonas Brodin contract, I know he's a tremendous defensive defenseman, but it's one of those situations, $6 million for 7 years, I'm just not sure. I was going to make my own video talking about this. Let's sim another month really quickly. I'm not going to panic to make changes right now. I'm not so sure if that's the best contract in the world. When I look at defensemen, I think of point production, the transition game, and how good they are in their own zone. Brodin, 20 to 30 points isn't bad. I don't know enough about how well he moves the puck. I really don't. If he moves the puck well and he's as good defensively as he is, then yeah, it's a pretty damn good contract, I got to be honest. But, 20 to 30 point defensemen, do you want to pay them $6 million? Probably not. Maybe you say, well, he's worth 3, maybe 4, and then he's elite defensively, so you bring it up to 6. It was one of those weird contracts. Honestly, I think time will tell as to whether or not it is that good of a deal. So with that said, we have already simmed all the way up to January 1st. We are in first place in the division at nearly the halfway point of the season, a decent little lead on the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's take a look at the team, see how we're doing. So Justin Williams is doing very well, actually. 36 points in 40 games. I was very concerned about Williams and whether or not he fit in on this team. I think he's going to be okay. Sebastian Aho, despite being a sniper, has 9 goals and 32 assists. Oh, goodness. Which means, there you go, 16 goals for Teuvo Teravainen. So I guess the question is, do we swap Teravainen and Aho, or does it not matter? Is it going to mess it up, or is it only going to help the situation by making Teuvo the sniper of the line? I have no idea. I'm just going to leave it because we're doing well. Second line, Nino Niederreiter. Very good season. A playmaker actually putting up points, but 34 points. It's very good. You have 23 for Trocheck. That's okay. And Svechnikov is doing very well with 32. No complaints. No complaints so far as things stand. Shooting 15%. I was wondering with those 16 goals. Third line, Warren Foegele has been okay. He's not really cutting it. He's not really cutting it, and he's certainly not good enough to knock anybody off a higher line. I think a better, more productive third line option would be beneficial. Jordan Staal doing pretty damn well. Happy with that. Dzingel has been okay. Yeah, so right now Warren Foegele is in my sights here for someone we could get rid of. Brock McGinn and his fantastic hair. 13 points is fantastic. 11 for Natchez. That fourth line's great. The only forward right now I'm concerned about is Warren Foegele. Defensively, Hamilton, 20 points in 40 games. I'd love to have him as an offensive defenseman, but again, chemistry-wise, it just doesn't make sense. We also have Jake Gardner on 10 points, so Gardner also only fits on the third line. Interesting, because I think finding a defensive D-man partner for Hamilton on that top line will work out very well. Brett Pesce's been fantastic. Slavin's been solid. I think the issue is Vatanen and Shea have both been all right. So, I mean, you could make the argument, because we have DFD, OFD, DFD, OFD, and then two-way. A defensive defenseman to go alongside Dougie might be the best way to go. You could argue in a way that Jake Gardner could be just turned into a defensive defenseman. We could just see what happens. But Gardner's also not like a top-notch fit for that first pairing. I'm not going to change anything with the team right now, aside from maybe looking at the third line, though. Reimer has been fantastic. Mrazek has been solid. We have no complaints aside from Warren Foegele, which really means that we have no complaints. I think I will take a look around the league just to see what we're dealing with, what our options are that are out there. Because apparently Anaheim signed Matt Moulson. I do want to see what's out there. Michael Grabner. Mikey Grabs. Nope. Nope. Buffalo with Hunwick. Okay, spoiler alerts for Calgary. And I'll say it in 5 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So Backlund scares the shit out of me because he was horrible. Okay, spoiler's over. There we go. Backlund doesn't even fit the line. Hamonic. It's a whole bunch of meh. Milan Lucic doesn't fit the team. Let's see. Chicago with Zack Smith. Ooh. He's having a good season, too. Zack Smith for Warren Foegele. Warren Foegele for Zack Smith. I don't hate that idea. Gagne, Bouchard, Berberg, Holla. Man, they are always trying to get rid of Eric Holla. It's impressive. Let's see. I saw Brian Boyle there. He's down to an 80. Ooh, no. No. There's the Montreal trio that we always come to expect. And nope. I saw the stat line. Nope. So Zack Smith right now, if I had to target somebody, although Clutterbuck or Martin also wouldn't be that bad. But that's a lot of salary, Clutterbuck, Martin, or Smith. And there's no denying Smith has probably been the best forward of the bunch. I think it was, like a plus 17? Derek Grant, no. Rafflecopter, no. Andreoff and Thompson, I'm not even interested in. Alex Steen? He's a minus 22. No thanks. So it's a bit of a risk to make a deal and have one of our 3 possible trades be for Zack frickin' Smith. But he is doing pretty damn well for Chicago. Let's go check Chicago's lines really quickly and see where he's been playing. I want to see where he's been. And if he's doing that on their 3rd line. Hot damn. Next to Carpenter and Shaw. Yeah, no, Zack Smith, he's not being boosted up by like Taves or Kane somehow. I think we're going to work out a deal here for Zack Smith. It's, like I said, a major risk. Normally we try to save, reserve blockbusters, but, Warren Foegele for Zack Smith. I don't hate it. Fogel's underperformed. He's not a great fit for the line. There's Foegele. Okay. He doesn't have crazy trade value. This might actually go through on its own. Nope, a little bit off. Just a little bit. So we have numerous players we could add to this to help push this through. Let's go ahead and add Jesper Källgren. Done deal. Thank you very much, Chicago. And Zack Smith, welcome to the Carolina Hurricanes. You'll be playing with Jordan Staal and Ryan Dzingel with a damn good opportunity to help this team out. I'm going to leave him as a grinder. You could make the argument change into a 2-way like everybody else, but yeah, we're going to leave him there. I mean, he's been doing that as a grinder. I don't think as a 2-way we'd really even get a +1 out of it. So, Zack Smith is our first real addition to this team. Only one thing has changed, and that was to get a slightly better option in terms of production, but a slightly better option in on our 3rd line, which, again, was our one notable weakness, was that left-hand side. So, I don't hate it. I hate our results in the immediate aftermath of the trade. Now just a 3-point lead over Philadelphia, at least when we started, this sim, or when I started talking. But yeah, no, we are crashing back down to reality here a bit. Philadelphia's jumped us. I mean, you can't say that I screwed it up. I mean, unless Zack Smith has been absolutely tragic, we are 1 point behind the Philadelphia Flyers now. 76 locker room chem. I want to see how Smith has done here. How have you done next to Stahl and Dzingel? Zack Smith. Oh, boy. Okay. Right. That is not ideal. That's slightly problematic. Only slightly problematic. Well, Zach, you, my friend, have been a little bit disappointing, haven't you? 3 points in 12 games. Like, I wasn't expecting that much more. But, man, that is a low point total. I mean, that is actually, in fairness, it is a 20-point pace. But I want a little bit better. Like, 20-point pace for the fourth line would be cool. Let's take a look at the rest of the team. Let's see what we got here. Simon Williams, 39 points. It doesn't look as good. 48 and 51 for Aho, solid. 49 and 51 for Aho, or for Teravainen, solid. Great numbers for Nino. Vinny. I don't know about that one, Chief. And Svechnikov on 38. I think in an ideal world, we'd find a way to drop Vinny to the third line. I mean, Stahl's been okay on 27 points. Dzingel, And Williams, the problem is he doesn't fit anywhere else. So, I mean, Dzingel can't play center all that well. I guess, it's not as if Dzingel's crushing it on the third line here. And that fourth line, 14 points, very good, and very good. So I'm a little bit worried about Williams, Trocheck, and Dzingel. The goaltending's honestly been great for the most part. Oh. Well, we figured out our problem. We figured out our problem, didn't we? Hamilton, Gardner, unsurprisingly, not a good pairing. We will take a look around again. If we cannot find anybody that fits the bill here and suits our needs, we will look. Oh, TJ. I mean, you don't fit that much better than Gardner, though. Travis Hamonic really fits the team, too, but he's been awful. We need to see if Jake Gardner as a defensive defenseman works alongside Hamilton. If he does, awesome. If he doesn't, we have to make that move. But Jake Gardner is not nearly producing the points as a two-way that makes it worth keeping him around as a two-way. That makes sense. We might as well just put him as a DFD, put Dougie Hamilton as an OFD, and let Dougie gallop. That's basically the best thing that we can do here, is just try to give Hamilton the best possibility, the best one, to continue to light up the scoreboard as best he can. So, we'll see. We'll see. So let's see what we have here. Especially in terms of chemistry. We are listed as contenders, which makes sense. We definitely are. So, I mean, again, the forward-wise, I'm a little bit worried. It's still a +1. Let's see if Dougie Hamilton can gallop. If not, we need to find a replacement for Jake Gardner. The problem is, I think we made it to February and close to the trade deadline in near record time. So we need to be very careful here with 2 trades left to not waste the good potential at this stage. And we are continuing to lose games, and that kind of scares me as our lead continues to slip away. So Calgary have made a deal. Jesus, I'd make that deal too. 2 first-round picks for Brody and Michael Stone. Holy crap. I mean, sure. If you want to, you can do that. Let's go right to the deadline. Right to the deadline. Oh, boy. Oh, let's see. Sherratt and Edmondson to Anaheim for 2 seconds. Interesting deal for the Ducks there. What else do we have? Backlund and Lucic to Dallas for a first and a second. Perhaps future Stanley Cup champions, the Dallas Stars. Brad Hunt, Samanas, and a third for Urho Vakanainen and a third. And I don't know about that one, Boston. I like Brad Hunt, but I don't know if I like him that much. And will there be any other trades? Here we go. Eric Gustafsson back to Chicago. Amazing. And that brings us to deadline day. So we are currently situated in second in the division with a game at hand on the Flyers. So we have the best point pace in the division. But it is a relatively close race. Even you could argue the 64-point Devils aren't completely out of it with 21 games to go. So one more look at the team. Justin Williams on 47 points. He's not quite good enough for the first line, but I also don't know if he's worth dropping because we can't put him on any other line. Aho on 59 points, solid, and Aho and Tavo have been amazing. Nino's been fantastic. Trocheck hasn't quite been what I want in a second-line center. That's the key here, I think, is can we add another second-line option? That is the key. Can we add a second-line center that'll see Vinny Trocheck get demoted? Zack Smith has 3 points in 21 games. That move has completely backfired, but he's also not been a detriment. So I think, you move Trocheck down to the third line, and Zack Smith becomes a healthy scratch. So can we find a second-line center for Nina Ryder and Svechnikov that'll drop Trocheck down, and we make the best of it? Because Dzingel, he's not... I guess you could argue, give Dzingel a shot and just, do it from within. I don't know. I'm trying to fight off a yawn there. I don't know if that's the best strategy or not, as Hamilton and Gardner appear to be leveling out a little bit. And then goaltending-wise, we're going to trust those two. I need a second-line center. And potentially someone who's an amazing scheme fit for that top line. Obviously, we're not going to find that in Michael Del Zotto. Can we find a top-line center who is somehow available in this first year trade deadline special? What do we got? Kyler Yamamoto was available. Hot damn. That's the first time I think we've seen Yamamoto available. Edmonton's going for it if they're getting rid of Yamamoto. Spurgeon, Stahl, and a certain... I was going to say Spurgeon, Zuccarello, and a certain Stahl. Eric Stahl. Yes. I think we have our answer. I think we do. Does Parise fit in with this team? Oof. I wonder how well Zach Parise would fit in over Williams. And Amico, nothing. I think, because Zuccarello, he fits on the second line, but again, he doesn't play center. I think Eric Stahl on the second line, and we get Jared Spurgeon rather than Jake Gardner. I think that's the way to do it. Is there anybody else, aside from Minnesota, who can offer an interesting enough trade package here to make a deal worth it? Well... he doesn't fit the team. Oh, my God. Nor does J.G. Pajot. Wow, that's a low blow. A cheap Matt Barzal, but he does not fit the team. So as it stands, Eric Stahl. Hello, Alex Petrangelo. Ooh, I like Petrangelo better than Spurgeon. I love Jared Spurgeon. I have 2 trades left. I think we know our deal here. The most important deal to me is the forward. Eric Staal, come on down. You are the next contestant on Save the Carolina Hurricanes. Go figure, what's old is new again. So the question is, what do we give up to get it done? And I think the answer here is the likes of Dominic Bach and really anybody else that we care. Hayden Fleury? I mean, that should be more than enough. Thank you very much, Minnesota. Obviously, for me, I don't have to care about getting rid of assets. And then we will make the move. I am going to potentially cash out on Jake Gardner or keep him on this team as a healthy scratch for 6 years. One or the other. We'll fix those forward lines in a minute. But we have our second trade done, and now our third trade, as long as the Blues didn't bail on Petro being on the block, and they didn't. Alex Petrangelo is going to be added to this team. He'll be a defensive defenseman alongside Dougie Hamilton. I think I want to try to hang on to Jake Gardner just in case. So TVR makes $2 million, man. I think if I move on from TVR, I want to send a little bit more cap their way too. Just a tiny bit. So in terms of that, does that say Ryan Suzuki's making money? No, that's just for centers, that's why. I'm going to say, what the hell? Is anybody here making money who really shouldn't be? Apparently not. What about for defensemen? Where the hell is all this money? That's where. I was going to say, where the hell is all this money taken up? I guess that $2 million should be fine. So we go down here and we say Toronto's first in TVR. Not enough, so we go back and we say our own first round pick as well. Quite far off still, huh? Hot damn. Hot damn. Then let us go for Jack Drury. What a deal there for St. Louis. The deal is done. Our third and final addition is Alex Petrangelo, who will be on that top-line defense pairing with Dougie Hamilton. And this team is set up incredibly well to find success here. So again, Trocheck will be sent down. It'll be Eric Staal as the center. And then Trocheck probably on the wing. Yes, because Jordan has better face-offs. Could put people on their proper wing, but we'll leave Vinny Trocheck there just in case. So really all that has to be done is Staal to power forward, Trocheck to a two-way, and then again Jake Gardner is going to take a seat for Alex Petrangelo. So we have two righties, but that is okay. I've been had. Petrangelo is not as good of a fit for that top line as advertised. Fuck. Whatever. I'd still rather have him there, I think, than Gardner. We needed to try something different. That sucks tremendously, and I friggin' hate when that happens, because I'm pretty sure our scout said it was 100%. I might be wrong. But, hey, what are you going to do? So we go to yield edit player. We go down to yield Alex Petrangelo. And we take one more look. Oh, there you go. First look at Petrangelo in a jersey the Hurricanes never wear. And I don't really know why. I guess, what was it, that the owner just doesn't like it? But I don't really know why. I mean, they've had those same jerseys basically for the entirety of their existence. So Vinny Trocheck will be made into a two-way, which might be better suited for him. But I got to be honest, I am a little bit disappointed in Trocheck's production so far. I thought he would be a little bit better, if I'm being honest with you. But hey, what are we going to do? And then Eric Staal back in Carolina. I'm not going to immediately hand him the C, but, you know, I wouldn't be against that. That's just right. Eric Staal in Carolina. No disrespect to Minnesota, but that is just correct. Just feels right. God damn. It's the perfect fit. And let's hope that Cinderella doesn't turn back into a pumpkin and that we can actually win something here. Listed as champions. Beautiful. So we basically just got even better. And at least got a +1 there. Let's do it. This team is stacked, locked and loaded, ready to go, ready to hopefully win something, anything. Please, 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 possibly, hopefully, maybe, potentially. Let's see what happens. We will sim until there is a handful of games to go. Hopefully by this point, we are already confirmed as a playoff team. Again, with Eric Stahl back in the fold, but we have fallen to 3rd in the division, which is not where we want to be. We get absolutely pooped on by the Flyers. And so far, the Eric Stahl V2 and Alex Petrangelo, eras, not exactly off to a flying start. 3 wins in a row, taking points in our last 4. Not a bad way to go. Actually, make that our last 6 at this point. God damn, we are catching fire here. Whew. All right, well, we've certainly made it interesting now at 40, 25, and 9. 1 point behind Philly with a game at hand. This game against the Islanders is huge, and we win. So we are atop the division right now by 1 point over Philadelphia. A huge game here against Pittsburgh, who are currently battling to make it into the playoff picture. We beat them as well. 9 wins in our last 10. Toronto's next. It's now a 3-point gap over Philly. We beat the Leafs, and the Hurricanes are playoff bound. Fantastic. Pittsburgh again, we lose in a shootout. Still taking points in our last 10 games at least. My God, another win. 98 points now. 4-point gap on the Flyers. We lose to the Bruins. They have a game at hand. They can get it down to a 2-point gap, and they do not take advantage. So a win here seals the deal. We win one of our last 2 games. There it is. The Hurricanes take the Metro Division. And all in all, we'll finish this season at 45, 26, and 11. 3 points above the Flyers. 11 overtime or shootout losses. Certainly helping our playoff situation, boosting us there. We still had them in terms of ROW, which is fantastic. But Philly, Washington, Pittsburgh makes it on 91 points. And in the Atlantic, Boston on 116. So we'll be playing the Buffalo Sabres in round 1. Tampa will play Montreal, as Detroit absolutely sucked. In the Central, you have Chicago, Colorado, and Dallas will be playing one another. Winnipeg on 96, who will be playing Arizona. Chicago will play Vancouver, and Vegas will play Edmonton. 3 less than 70-point teams in that division. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. So we were the 6th best team in the league. Not bad. Whew, there were certainly the haves and the have-nots. Goals for. We were up there. Not towards the tippy top, but we were up there in a 2.54. We have the best defense and goaltending in the league. Fantastic. 21% on the power play, which is up there. Not the tippy top, but it's up there. And an 85.1% penalty kill, which is 3rd best in the league. So there you go. Solid offense. Really good defense and goaltending. Sounds about right, I'd say. As Sebastian Aho ended up leading this team in points just over Tavo. Svechnikov was great. Eric Stahl had a great second half of the season. 15 points in 21 games here. Very happy with that. Nino won 70 points. I mean, certainly it's the top 6 that is carrying this team. Trocheck still hit 20 goals. So certainly the top 6 carrying this team, but really there's not a single player whose point total I'm disappointed in. Not a single one. Defensively, solid for Dougie. Ooh. Okay, it's just that he was a minus 26. Jesus. 7 points and +3. It's not too bad for Petrangelo. I don't know about he and Dougie full-time, but look at the point totals here for these defensemen. Good Lord. And then goaltending-wise, yeah. James Reimer would have been one of the better backups in the league. That certainly helps. No doubt about that. So it was Nathan McKinnon and Phil Kessel. Jesus. It's weird, man. Medium scoring can go so many different ways. McDavid was the only player to hit 50. Defensively, 71 points for John Carlson. Top goal scorer was Brent Burns. For goaltenders, the winningest was Tuukka Rask. Corey Crawford did it in 2 less games, though. Shutout leader, Marc-Andre Fleury. And save percentage leader for a starter, probably going to be Fleury who wins the Vezina unless they give it to Vasi or Tuukka. Maybe Martin Jones as well. And for the rookies, surprise, surprise, it's Jacques Hughes, unless they give it to Kubalik off of plus minus, which they could. It happens sometimes, as dumb as that is. That's right. I called it dumb. All right. So with that, again, we know who we're playing in the first round. Let's get down to it. This is the fastest that we've ever made it, I think, through a season in one of these videos. So Buffalo stands in our way. Our team will obviously remain the same in terms of the lineup. Troy Terry finished their season for Anaheim on the top line. So it is Skinner, Eichel, Okposo, Olofsson, Reinhart, Johansson, Frolik, Gergensen, Simmons, VC, Cahoon, and Larson. We're obviously better. Defensively, Dahlin, Risto, Miller, Montour, McCabe, Jokiharju, the goaltender, Hutton, and Allmark. So it is the team that you would expect. The question is, can we outperform them? I'd like to think that we could. We have the better team in every aspect. I'm just intrigued at what playoff Jack Eichel is going to look like, because sometimes he just ruins worlds, and other times he doesn't show up. Let's see how it goes. The Hurricanes back in the playoffs. Thank God we're not playing Boston. Round 1, Game 1, first period, and a good start for the Sabres. Dom Cahoon on the power play. Second period, there we go. We've tied it up at 2 apiece. Jack Eichel scores. There you go. Patera Vinen and Niederreiter get us back into it. Third period, Game 1 goes to overtime. Cahoon scores again. Niederreiter scores again. Let's see how it goes. Overtime, place your bets. I'm going to say Eric Stahl or Johan Larsson. Here it is. 3, 2, 1. And the Carolina Hurricanes win it. It was not Eric Stahl, but Ryan Dzingel on the power play. Good Lord, our power play. Good Lord, Nino Niederreiter. And the Hurricanes survive a bit of a scare to take Game 1. So it doesn't tell you who scored on the power play from that menu, but I can look here in power play goals. We only had 2. I thought we had more than that. I thought we had 3. Well, what are you going to do? Still, solid power play effort and a 1-0 series lead to show for it. Good stuff. I thought we were in trouble there. The end of the first period. You never know. Let's see what we got here. Game 2, where you're going to keep this team the same for the foreseeable future and just run with it. Flash forward 3 minutes from now. First period, and it's scoreless. Second period, no longer scores. Goal apiece, Eric Stahl and Rasmus Ristolainen. Third period of Game 2, and the Carolina Hurricanes win it. Who else? Nino Niederreiter on the power play. You don't get to see the 3 stars. I apologize tremendously. But there you go. 2 victories to start off this series. Very, very close games. That's exactly what we wanted to see here at this stage. We'll jump into Game 3. How will it go? First period. Dang. Simmons and Teravainen, and then Eichel, Larson for a leak. Hamilton gets one back. 4-2 Buffalo at the end of the first. On 9 shots, they scored 4 goals. Second period. Scoreless. Third period. Too little, too late. Jack Eichel scores another one. Reimer did a good job in relief, but Stahl's goal, again, too little, too late. The Sabres back in the series after a 5-3 victory. So Eichel, a great game. There you go. I was wondering what type of version we'd see of Eichel. I got my answer, as the road team has yet to win in this series. We go to Game 4, a crucial Game 4. First period. Good start for Buffalo. I mean, we scored the opening goal with Aho, but then it's Skinner and Olofsson. Second period, we tie it up. Vinny Trocheck on the man advantage. And in the third, the Hurricanes strike. They make landfall, I guess. Petrangelo wins it. Dzingel seals it. 4-2 your final score. And a 3-1 series lead for the boys in red and black. Fantastic stuff. We are one win away from moving on and making relatively short work of the Sabres, but I can't expect that we'll just be able to put them down that easily. So we'll see how this one goes, won't we? First period, goal for Buffalo, Jakeichel. Second period, Hamilton scores, but then Kahun with a shorty. Okposo scores as well. Third period, holy hell, the Carolina Hurricanes are going to the second round. Buffalo choked. Svechnikov, McGinn, and to win it, it's Eric Staal. 4-3 your final score. The Hurricanes take it in just 5 games. We will move on after a tremendous third period effort. What a start to this postseason campaign for us. Beautiful. Nino Niederreiter, Eric Staal, Teuvo Teravainen, like the big names pretty much showing up. No goals for Justin Williams. Nothing really there from Jordan Staal. Dougie Hamilton, though, thriving. And, yeah, we probably won't win if Peter Mrazek's going to play like that. So it might be a bit of a short leash. I think we won in spite of him. Obviously, he had one game that really, really tanked that save percentage because it is such a small sample size of just 5 games. But that simply cannot happen again. And hopefully won't. Round 2, we take on the Philadelphia Flyers at Chicago, Colorado, Arizona, Vegas, and Montreal against Pittsburgh. So we take on Philadelphia. Let's take a look at how they are established here at the end of Season 1. It is James Van Riemsdyk, Claude Giroux, and Jakub Voracek doing very well. Second line of Kevin Hayes, Sean Couturier, and Travis Konechny. Third line of Oscar Lindblom, Scott Lawton, and Derek Grant. And a fourth line of Joel Farabee, Nolan Patrick, and Tyler Pitlick. So pretty damn good. Defensively, we have Provorov and Matt Niskanen. Shane Gostisbehere alongside Justin Braun. Travis Sanheim is with Robert Haig. The goaltenders, Kata Hatt and Brian Elliott. Hart wasn't phenomenal, but he was good enough. Tell me if you've heard that one before in terms of how a team is established. So, certainly not going to be easy. If Peter Mrazek's not on top of his game and gets ripped apart by that top line, we have no chance. So, it might have to be James Reimer who's called upon. First period of Game 1 here in the second round, and Konechny scores the opening goal on the power play. Second period, good God, Pitlick and Couturier shorthanded. Third period, we ruin the shutout. Petrangelo does it, but 4-1 with 2 shorthanded goals. Philadelphia Flyers take Game 1, and James Reimer will be between the pipes in Game 2. I think we have no choice, unfortunately. Goaltending was a concern of mine. Mrazek looked like he was doing well. He wasn't. And again, now it is Big Jim. And James, we need ya. Make Steve Dangle proud. Let's see how she goes. First period. Voracek, Provorov, and JVR. Aho scores one for us. We're down 3-1. Second period, we are down 3-2. Justin Williams gets us back in it. Third period, and the Flyers win it. Voracek scores the winner, a power play goal from Aho. Too little too late. The Flyers take both games on the road to start this series. And this team is in just a tad bit of trouble, being outscored 8-4 over the first 2 games. That is not a winning formula. Ravioli, give me a frickin' win. And the Formioli. I mean, Pesce and Slavin have... Wow, Vatanen and Shea have been garbage. This postseason so far. Yikes. Oh, boy. I don't know how much mixing and matching there is to do with this team. I just think if we're gonna sink, then damn it, let it sink. It's game 3 against Philly. First period, Flyers score first. Couturier. Second period, we get back into it. Patrick made it 2-0, but Nino, Williams, and Teravainen give us the lead. Third period, and the Carolina Hurricanes take game 3 and get themselves back into the series. Teravainen and Hamilton with goals there. Great game for Teuvo and Aho. A much better game from Peter Mrazek. And just like that, the home team has yet to win trend. Rears its ugly, at this point, beautiful head. And we go to game 4 with a tremendous opportunity to get back into this one. First period, never mind, it's gone. Lindblom, Lawton, Hayes, and Pitlick. Petrangelo scored 2 goals for us, but not nearly ideal. Second period, we get one back with Vinny Trocheck. Third period, and the Philadelphia Flyers are 1 win away from winning this series. A hat trick of assists for Shane Gostisbehere. And they are doing to us what we had done in the first round to the Buffalo Sabres. This was not the role that I wanted to be in all honesty. I think the issue is, again, goaltending has been hot garbage. James Reimer will be called upon to try and bail us out here. And then defensively, yeah, Shea Vatanen's done. Shea Vatanen has to be done. The problem is I'm going to leave in Vatanen just so I don't have to be any crazier. It's going to be Jake Gardner that gets the opportunity here with Sammy Vatanen. And then forward-wise, Williams has been okay. Aho, Teravainen. Nino Ryder's struggled defensively. Svechnikov has 1 goal this postseason. That is unacceptable. And then Jordan Staal has been hot garbage. So it'll be a Natchez swap with Staal. And how are we going to do this? Who is Svechnikov getting dropped for? Ryan Dzingel. We will try some new things out of pure necessity. 3 wins in a row. We're going to see if we can pick up the first one here. If not, the dream does indeed die. First period starts off strong with a Svechnikov goal. There you go. Second period, goal apiece to Dzingel on the power play and then Sanheim. Third period, and we're going to overtime, tied at 4. Good God, this goaltending is a train wreck in the playoffs. Nina Ryder and Svechnikov for us, Konechny, Giroux, and Niskanen shorthanded with 19 seconds left. I've never seen this many shorthanded goals. 2 consecutive. We had a power play in the final minute and gave up 2 goals. We don't deserve to be here, including a goal from center ice. Overtime, we win. Jake Gardner is the hero, bailing out former Leafs teammate James Reimer from nearly choking that one away. We advance to game 6. That was absolutely horrific from Reimer. Even if the whole center ice thing is just, randomly computer generated, that still absolutely sucks and is not acceptable. So for game 6, we got no choice. Peter Mrazek's back in. The rest of the team stays as they be and do's as they day. Do's as they do, do's as they do. It's game 6. Here we go. First period, goal apiece, Niskanen and Teravainen. Second period, we take the lead with Vatanen. Third period, and the Carolina Hurricanes have forced game 7. This bunch of jerks refusing to die. 7th game on the horizon here, outscoring them 7-5 over the last 2 games. Comes down to this: the winner takes on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Will it be Canes, Pens, or the Battle of Pennsylvania in the conference final? Let's find out. First period, goal apiece, Hamilton and Niskanen. Second period, scoreless. Here we go. Third period of game 7. It does not get any closer than this. Sebastian Aho scores. Is that going to be the goal that puts us through to the conference final? Power play goes to waste. 3-8. Travis frickin' Konechny. And the Flyers force overtime. Justin Williams is going to win this game. I'm calling it. Justin Williams is going to send us to the conference final. The Philadelphia Flyers will play the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Eastern Conference Final. Claude Giroux ends it. And there really is, it's Arizona and Chicago on the other side. There really is no other feeling than this team just choked. This team choked. And if you look here, only 2 goals for Williams. Svechnikov didn't do enough. Trocheck and Stahl were okay, but Dzingel didn't do enough. And Jordan Stahl, in particular, you should be ashamed of yourself. Defensively, Sami Vatanen, Brett Pesce, Slavin, Shea, all tremendously let us down. And the goaltending absolutely fell apart. I said at the end of the first round, if the goaltending kept going like that, we would be screwed, and now here we are. So with that, so ends another challenge. No success for the Hurricanes this time out. As frustrating as that may be, the Penguins went on to win the Stanley Cup. With that, I have been incredibly salty. Thank you very much for watching and supporting this channel. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you all in the next one, and we'll see just what happens. Friggin' jerks.